a beloved child of God. You are designed on purpose, of immeasurable worth, loved beyond imagination, and completely forgiven. You are being shaped into God's masterpiece. That is your true identity. Mandalorians wear masks because they say it's part of their identity. But as we're discovering in this series, there's more below that surface. Our masks are the faulty identities that we or the world place upon us. The trick is discovering that true identity that you were born with that's below the mask. And that identity is one of immeasurable worth. Not only are you divinely designed, as we talked about in the last episode, but you are deeply desired. God desires you. Toward the end of The Mandalorian's second season, Grogu is captured by Moff Gideon, and Mando is on a quest to rescue him. There is this great moment when Mando is confronting Gideon, and he turns Gideon's words back on him.
Moff Gideon, you have something I want. You may think you have some idea what you are in possession of, but you do not. Soon, he will be back with me. He means more to me than you will ever know.
Wow. Talk about an expression of desire. Din Djarin would stop at nothing to have Grogu safely returned to him. That is perhaps just a small sample of the kind of overpowering love that God has for you. Let's clear something up. God does not tolerate you. He desires you. Now let me explain. In the last video, we talked about how we were each designed with great care by God, made in His image to spread beauty through His creation. But that doesn't mean He made you and then set you off into the world hoping for the best. He wants to keep hanging out with you through it all. So no, God does not tolerate you. He delights in you. The Old Testament prophet Zephaniah wrote that, "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing." This is an ancient text, but it is as true today as it was over 2,500 years ago. God takes great delight in you. He won't push you away. Instead, he rejoices over you with singing. Now that is a joyful kind of affection. I remember when my girls were born and I'd stand over them just oohing and awing over how darling they were. They were beautiful and they were so special to me. I was so proud to be their parent and I was deeply in love with them, my children, and I still am. That's how I try to picture God looking at me. He's not up in the sky holding a gavel and shaking his head at my last bonehead move. No, he's beaming down at me with affection saying, "Look, that's one of mine." Here's the thing about desire. It has to be acted upon. Did Mando love Grogu? Yes. And when Grogu was captured by the Dark Troopers, did Mando just shrug and say, "Ah, shucks"? Of course not. The love of desire is a love that pursues. Going all the way back to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, God's created people have been really effective at straying away from him. The word for that is sin. And I sometimes think that sin is one of my top 10 hobbies. Maybe it is one of yours too. But even as we are walking away from God, God is running toward us. And he did that through Jesus. In the Apostle Luke's biography of Jesus, Jesus says that his main purpose was coming to seek and save the lost. In fact, Luke dedicated an entire chapter of his book to retelling the stories, or parables, that Jesus told about God pursuing his people. There's the parable of the lost sheep, in which a shepherd leaves his 99 sheep to chase down the one sheep who strayed away from the flock. There's the parable of the lost coin, in which a woman goes to extreme effort to find the silver coin she lost when she has 9 other silver coins safely stowed away. But the most famous is probably the parable of the prodigal son. Now, contrary to what many of us church kids grew up thinking, prodigal does not mean returning. It actually means a person who spends money in a reckless way. So in this story, a father has two sons. The youngest son insults his father by asking for his share of the inheritance early and then goes out and quickly squanders it. Suddenly poor, hungry, and ashamed, the son decides to return to the family farm, not to ask for redemption, but to become a servant in his father's house. But what does that father do? Jesus says that even when the son was a long ways away, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. Not only do all three of these stories end with the lost being found, but they end with incredible rejoicing. Jesus' point is to remind each of us that we are deeply desired by God, and he will never stop running toward us. If you feel like you're far away from God, remember this. You don't have to run all the way back to him. He's already coming toward you. And the proof is Jesus' sacrifice on your behalf and mine on the cross. God's desire for you is greater than your distance from him. Between you and God, he wants nothing more than for you to do life with him. A theologian named Dallas Willard famously said that the goal of Jesus was not to get us into heaven, but to get heaven into us. Part of God's divine design for us was to be with him. He sent Jesus into the world to make that possible, and the ultimate victory of eternity will be when Jesus returns and we will dwell with God forever. John the Revelator said, "I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God.'" God's dwelling place is with his people. So, where are you? Have you wandered off and gotten lost? Have you run away to hide? Are you trying to get back to God but keep tripping over yourself? Or maybe you feel like you've never even known God to begin with. Pause, take a breath, and remember this. You are a beloved child of God. You are designed on purpose, of immeasurable worth, loved beyond imagination, and completely forgiven. You are being shaped into God's masterpiece. That is your true identity. This is the way.